Hello and welcome to TreeWalker Talks, episode 37. It's time. All right, let's jump into the homestead update. Well, we've gotten 2 days of rain after our drought. I think it was we set a record for the longest time consecutive days without rain. I mean, I don't know if it's a real record or just one of those that they say is a record. Who knows? But we today is Tuesday, and we got rain on today, almost all day today. At least I'd say at least half the day. We're into the night now; it's still raining, and on all day Sunday, and that was a nice steady rain. It really did a lot of good. We really needed that. The crops were hurting. If we didn't get rain, there would have been some issues for the wheat, big time, because they're starting to dry out already. Which isn't quite what we needed. Plus the corn, it's about ankle high right now in most of the fields, at least throughout here in Ohio, northwest Ohio. Getting a little bit taller, but it's still on track to hit knee high by 4th of July. At least that's what we say up here. Up towards the river, it'll be a little bit bigger because of the sand and that, and it just tends to grow better. Beans, I think beans are just starting to come up. There's not too many of that. A lot around here, a lot of what they do is they double dip. So they'll plant wheat in the fall. Whoa, big yawn. They'll plant, this is after work again, and it's after a 12-hour work day. So I'm a little, but I have to record 2 this week, and I'll get back to the crops. I have to record 2 this week because next week, the girls are gone, and it's just me and the little missus, and so we're going to enjoy our time together. She's actually taking vacation time, so we'll get 2 done this week, and so we stay on schedule. But a lot of times around here, they double dip, so they'll put the beans or the wheat in, tax purposes, whatnot. They put it in the fall, so that goes against last year's. They harvest it this year, and then they will harvest it and then plant beans in the stubble. And so then they kind of double dip. Works out sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the rain and everything. I haven't seen as much. Is it rye? I think we've got rye up here that they grow for a couple of the places. A lot of the wheat was looking like rye this year. It's kind of like a light greenish look to it. But really overall, I mean, with the rain, the wheat that I saw around my dad's is looking pretty good. So hopefully with the rain, it'll finish out good. I guess we're kind of slipping into the what's growing too, so make that all one for this one. If you watched my videos, some of this will be old news to you. If you didn't watch them, it's new news. Looks like the wild grapes out back look like we're going to have a bumper crop this year, and with the dry weather, they should actually be pretty sweet. So I'm making a promise to myself that we're going to harvest them and do something with them this year. I don't know if that's going to be jelly, what it's going to be. We're going to do something with them. Maybe some wine. Who knows? Get a drink there. The comfrey out back is doing crazy good. Actually, where I dug some up by the house because there's not much rain in that there. It's come back up again. It's not doing the best there, so it's going to be transplanted off on the north side of the house. I actually get sun in this area, and it's just grass. It's not really used for anything but being mowed. I'm actually talking about probably putting a bed there and filling it full of comfrey, because hopefully that's going to be one of the businesses that I do. Let me move the mic a little bit closer there. Kind of what I'm looking at for a side hustle there is to dry leaves, sell leaves, that sort. Maybe even some crowns. Excuse me there, I keep yawning. I'm trying to pause them out, but I guess I'm sleepy. Maybe some crowns, cuttings, roots, that sort of stuff. Just a small little business. Help get comfrey out there and help get it started. Because, if you get enough of those side hustles going and you get enough saved, then you can buy land somewhere else. And those side hustles, like that comfrey, could turn into a full-time job. Seasonal, but full-time. Because I could get, if I got a, say 10 or 20 acre plot of land, if you took, I don't even want to say 1 acre, not even probably a quarter acre. I mean, a half acre is what I live on now, and if I filled that full of comfrey, I could have unbelievable sales going out. So things like that you kind of have to look at. I have quite a few other things going on too, but What else? Catnip. I don't really do anything with catnip, but we actually got, I don't know, 6 or 7 plants out there that are really doing good. I'm probably going to cut them and dry them because you can use them for teas and lots of other things. Plus, you can give them to cats. Whatever. Okay, I've got the whole garden. If you watch the videos, you know this, but the whole garden's pretty much planted. Except for I need to get... I do have a squeaky little bit of voice, too, because I still have that cold going on. Plus, I work in the cold weather, so... all but the squash and melons are in right now, and that's something that I want to get done. Hopefully this weekend, but I'll tell you more at the main topic, what I've got going on this weekend, other than I've got brakes. I've got a spare vehicle, a little Mariner, Mercury Mariner, and my truck's out of commission right now because the front brakes started grinding. I do believe I have a set of pads out there. I just have to find time to do it, change them. Depending on how I feel tomorrow, I'd like to get started on it, maybe get them done during the week. That frees me up on the weekend, but we'll have to wait and see. If I find them, maybe it might just be a Saturday thing I do. But that's where it's nice to have that spare vehicle to jump into, even if it's not the best vehicle. I did get Rose of Sharon planted out back along the fence. I'm probably going to do more, but my idea there is that I've got this chain link with the railroad ties in front of it now, and then that, and I'd like to fill it completely in with Rose of Sharon. For one, it'll kind of give us a block between us and the neighbors and the field across to Menards. My neighbors find nothing wrong with him, but it'd be a lot nicer to look at flowers and trees than it would be to look at him staring at me while he mows. If I could, I would love to buy his lot that's behind us because all they do is mow it, and I would use it for planting. I mean, I could do, it's probably another half to an acre. I'm not sure. But I could actually do a lot with that with like the comfrey stuff too. Or animals. Yeah, the squash and the melons, I got to get those going. Probably just going to buy plants. I don't like doing that, but getting a late start, I think would be further ahead just getting some starts. I'll have to look. If you have a Menards close to you, they have some decent deals on plants. The 6-pack, I don't know, like the normal ones, are like $1.99. That's reasonable. That makes it to the point to where, you know what, it's almost easier to buy them like that than it is to start them yourself and stuff. But I'm kind of playing with some things here. I want to cultivate, and through planting, selective seed saving, I want to save the plants and come up with my own heirloom/hybrid concoctions. I guess it'd be heirloom. That maybe I could sell to people in the area, because it's always good to get that going in your area, because then they're used to your pests, your weather, that sort of stuff. Okay, I think that's it on the what's growing and the homestead update. Not a whole lot else on that, but the main topic, it's time. So I've talked about the goats quite often here. And, I said I'd like to get rid of them. But I always think of some reason why I want to keep them. I might move to some land. If I have the goats and I move to land, then I'm already a head start. Then I can get another buck, and then I can get milk and meat, or sell the kids, that sort of, a little bit of income coming in from that. So I should keep them, and their hooves need trimmed. The one's hooves really bad. I mean, it's not rotted or anything. It's just really long. I got to get them trimmed, and I want to do that first. But I came to terms with they're costing me money. It's money and time that could be used for other things. They're not going to the fair anymore. The girls don't really go out and spend much time with them. Sorry if there was a little bit of a noise there. I hit the splatter guard, I don't know what you call it, spit guard, whatever, into the mute button, so I went on talking about this. So this is the second time for this part. But they're not getting human interaction. I have limited space on the farm, or on the homestead here, and I think that could be utilized a lot better, and I already know what's going in there. We're going to move the ducks, have that complete whole area for the ducks now, because I think we're going to, money-wise, time-wise, and return-wise, the ducks are going to be better. I wouldn't tell anybody not to get goats. They're not for everybody. But I think if I had more land, I might get them. but I think we'd go more with sheep. But it is time, and I was contacted right away by a nice young couple, and they have farm area, and I set the price very cheap. And I told her that it was very cheap for them, all three of them, because I would rather them just go somewhere where they can be happy, where the pastures are greener, or even where the family can, learn from them. So, like I said, today's Tuesday. They wanted to come right away and get them today. And they're about an hour away, but I told them I work second shifts. I can't let that on the rest of the people here because they don't have much to do with them. And, it's going to be kind of hard to get them because none of them, the two older ones have been on leads and aren't horrible on them. The youngest has never had anything on her. So it could be interesting with her. I think when they message me, they're an hour away. It's not supposed to be hot. I want to go out and kind of lock them into the bedding area so it's easier for me to catch and easier to take them out. It's going to be noisy. It's going to be traumatic for the goats for a little bit, and I say that jokingly because it's always traumatic. Life is so rough. But once it's done, I'll be sad. I won't lie because, I saw something big and great with the goats, our own source of milk and source of meat and source of selling some of the kids for money to pay for the feed. So hopefully, essentially, we could have got our milk and everything for free. But I have to come to terms that that's not going to happen. And when it's just me on the homestead, just me doing the work on the homestead back there, I have to utilize my time properly. And I guess I'm telling you all this in one because if you're in that kind of situation, you have to look and see if it's time for you too. Is there something that maybe you have a dream about that you're keeping around just because of that dream? Something that is a time sink or money sink and you're not getting return from it. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to move on from that and either learn something new or double down on what you already have. I'm big on trying new things. So, do it. But don't hang on to something like that just because you think it's going to be something good someday. I mean, I've had the goats for 4 years now, I think. 4, maybe 5. I think it's 4. And I learned a lot. I've said before that I might not have gotten them if I know what I know now. I think I still would have. It was a learning experience. I know more than I used to know about them. It's been good. It's been good. But it is time. And, I guess you also have to look at with, the meats aspect. I would have been the only one here that ate them. Because I did toy with the idea of butchering all 3 of them and just eating the meat. But I would have been the only one, and the girls would have looked at me in horrible, horrible eyes about how horrific it is that I did that to their pets. They're never pets to me. I love the animals. I care for the animals. But none of my animals in the backyard there are pets. I've got rabbits. I've got quail, ducks, chickens, and goats. None of them are pets. Now, that said, I did forget something. So we'll kind of jump back to that in a second. But let's wrap this up. So, like I said, I'm just telling you, maybe you need that push. Maybe you need someone to say it's okay. Someone to tell you it's time. It's time to move on from that thing. It's time to move on to something else. It's time to let somebody else have a chance to learn and to see. So, it's time. All right, the other thing I want to talk about is we did get another rabbit from our FFA teacher, which we do quite a bit with her. I'll say what we call her. Her name's Miss B. She does a great job with the kids and does a lot of work, not on the clock, to help do things. And she wanted the youngest to take I do believe it's Holland Lop. I don't think it's a miniature lop. I could be wrong there. I don't know the breed so much as I do meat rabbit breeds. But she wanted, we already have one of those who has, I think he scored good. I could be wrong. Maybe he hasn't done much at the fair. But we've already bred him to her once. and she got sold the kits, and she wants her to do it again and then take it as the mom and kits for the fair. And then after that, I don't know, we'll see what happens, because sometimes we keep some of the rabbits, sometimes we don't. But every time I go out there and see her, I get a song stuck in my head. Her name is Lola. So, can you guess what song gets stuck in my head? She's pretty, she's opinionated, she likes to act tough, and then I go up to her, and then she's a sweetheart. Alright, so that part should have went with the homestead update, but I forgot, so there it is. Okay, it is late. It's almost midnight here now. I'm starting to get quite a bit of a headache, probably from sinuses and being up too long. So we'll wrap this up, and I want to tell you thank you for tuning in to the TreeWalker podcast. Oh, and I wanted to give a shout out. Thank you for all of the new subscribers. It's been great. I mean, I went from, I don't know if we had 80 to we're over 300 now. I mean, like in a matter of weeks. That's crazy to me. And I hope I can live up to the expectations and people like the content I'm putting out. If you have any ideas, suggestions, things you'd like to see or that, put them in the comments below. Private message me. Come join our Discord. However it is, contact us and let us know. We have a great group of people, and it's growing bigger every day. All right, I would give one more shout out to my artiste, and I keep doing this because it is important. He's a budding artist. He's very, very good. I mean, budding is in not he's just starting to be an artist. He's just starting to sell his service out there. So if you need something done, he's very reasonable, and he does awesome work. Just look at my icons. Look at my banners. He's done all the artwork for TreeWalker. He's working on a couple more projects with me for the other podcasts. So let me know. Can get you in touch with him. Join our Discord. He's in there. His name is Joseph Lawn, and he does excellent work. All right. I guess that was my commercial for the day, but he is awesome, and he's not giving me a discount or anything to say this. It's just he does good work, and I'd like to see him succeed and be able to do that. All right. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you on the next one. And remember, stay alive out there and keep on surviving.